Hi, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. We're playing in our Book of Awe. Today we're working on care and feeding of your artwork. A couple of things. One is this is the page we were working on, and I got it all finished. And let's see, it's a little stuck here. That's okay because we're going to finish that page another day. We just got some medium under. And while I love using gel medium because it's fun, it feels good, I get to put it on with a paintbrush, there are a few things that you need to know about it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this little last piece up here. I did come back in after we finished filming the other day and I added a few more pieces. So if you're watching this right after the one that we began, you can see that I went ahead and filled in a little bit more. The other thing I'm pretty sure I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to do it today or not while we're on camera, but I am going to take ink and I'm going to ink up all of these edges. And I'm still mulling over whether I'm going to do it in some kind of a brown or if I'm going to do it in blue. But the edges just feel unfinished, and that would be one way to finish them. I also created this page here off camera with the exact same process. So I used the ink to color the backgrounds, and then I used a beautiful napkin to add the pieces. Now what happens with acrylic medium, and let me show you all of that again, what we're talking about. The gloss gel medium. Supposedly matte doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and put on my invisible hands here. Matte does not, is not supposed to stick as badly, but I don't know if it does or doesn't. I have the gloss, so that's what I'm using. One of the things with the gloss that I like is, and that's when I first learned about art and acrylic painting and things, and mixed media, is with the gloss. If I would continue here and I would use a pencil to do something, I can literally come back and erase it because it's on top of the gloss. The gloss seals it that well. And then, of course, if whatever I did and I wanted to keep it, I can shoot it with, let's see if it's here. All right, it's not at my hand. There's some sprays that will set things, and so you can spray that on, and then it's all sealed. But in the interim, I don't want these, which they actually did. I put it together, came and did the other page, and then now I had this stuck. And I'm probably going to end up living with this little piece of glob right here, just because, and it'll just be okay, but it's stuck together. So this is how you keep your pages, and this is where you may decide, never mind, I'm not using gloss medium for anything, and that's fine. But I love it for some applications. So I'm going to use, and I learned this from, I'll think of her name, but she's a mixed media and acrylic artist, maybe a collage artist is the best description. Millet. She's French, but it's to use cold wax medium. Now this just happened to be the one that I got from Amazon, and it just looks like this. Just looks like wax. And I like to use an old piece of fabric, and you just go in and grab some, and you just put it on your page. And what it does, it just lays down a protector. And yes, you're right. I should have this here, so when I run off the edges, I'm not getting it anywhere else. This will dry. I mean, you won't even know it's on here once it's cured. Cured is probably a better word than dried. But I can assure you from having used it in my other pieces, these pages will not stick. So I have done this in all of my books where I've used the acrylic medium to seal my collage pieces down. And it just gives them this coat of protection. And then I don't have to worry about them sticking. I was fortunate this time. I only had this one little crazy place stick there. Before I learned this, I would go back into my mixed media journal. I would open the pages and whatever I had stuck down here would rip off of there and be over here on top of that. And that was gee, let's start over, which did not feel very good. Now I am going to go ahead while we continue forward because we got things to do. I'm going to put another piece of this deli paper. This stuff has turned out to be a lifesaver. It's really kind of a waxed brown paper, just so you know. I'm going to put it there while we come and move back here to this page. Now, if I'm going to ink this up, it would behoove me to ink it up before I seal it. So let's play with that. I got the coolest new thing. Let me find someone who will get this wax off my hands before I touch my new thing. My daughter has started, some of y'all know her, Mercedes. She has started being a 31 rep again. She's off and on, and so I'm so tickled, and I wanted to show you this, and I'll put her link. There we are. I will put her link in the description if you fall in love with this bag. Now, if you're familiar with 31, you will know that what they have today, they will not have next season. So if you were to fall like madly in love with this pattern and everything, go now and get this. The case itself, the idea behind it, they will probably continue to have, but the pattern will not. So what I love about this is it unhooks here. I like to go ahead and turn it back so it's not in my way. And I have all of my inks here. Ooh. And then look what it does. It comes down into an actual workspace. Now I'm going to take these out and I am really contemplating the blue. So I'm going to pop out Broken China and Faded Jeans. But as you know, my go-to favorite is Vintage Photo. So in case the blues are like, meh, once I get them on there, I'll take those out. Let's see what other, if there's another blue. These are some other inks that I have. And this one very politely came down, but it doesn't have any blues in it at all. Oh, here is my, I told you all about this before. This is my ink pad stamper. And it's a Tim Holtz product, and we will play with this one day. So you actually put your rubber stamp, or not your rubber stamp, but your crystal stamps here, and you ink them. Your paper goes here, and it's held in place. And then when you close it, you get your imprint, and you open it up. You're able to put another color in the next section, and when you close it, it stamps on the exact same spot. If you've tried stamping and then you find that you can't ever match them. Once you take the stamp up and you want to do it again right on the same spot, you forget about it. So that has been a life changer. All right, Mermaid Lagoon is in this one. Faded Jeans we have. All right, so I think 3 blue choices and a Vintage Photo choice is all I'm going to need at this point. So I'm just going to slide this back into my nifty difty. And I thought that I had saved the name of this for you. Let me check real quickly. I may have put it somewhere else. I know I saved the name in the other piece. I'll look it up and I'll put that in the description as well as to exactly what this container is. And I'll play with it just a little bit. What are we going to use? Okay, I'm going to need... Here we are. Put in my little handy dandy things here. we're going to need one of these, but I definitely want to change out the tops. So let me pull one out. And I'm almost thinking that I prefer even, see there's the one with the sponge tip, but I'm thinking for the application we want to use, we're going to use one of these tips. So I'm going to take this off. It just comes off like this. There we are. And then it goes down back on like that. Now, if you were really smart or organized, this is probably vintage photo. You can take a little bit of Velcro or whatever here, and then your top is with your ink. So that's another suggestion. So in case we use vintage photo, I'm gonna go ahead and move that, save that over there for that. So putting this away for a moment. Let's see what we like. So I'll start down here in the bottom, testing so that, you know, it won't matter. Let me bring this sheet back to here because that will matter. Oh, and I got this. I've seen this on Gail Agostino's show, and it helps hold things down. And I could use the clips, but at this point, I'm more interested in just keeping it flat. So I'm going to use that. Yes, I had a big Amazon haul come in yesterday. Get a little sip of my tea. What are y'all sipping on today? I usually have, especially in this cooler weather, I have tea with essential oils in them. This time of day, it is spearmint. And I love that spearmint flavor in that green tea. All right, let's see. All right, here's that color. Let's see what it would look like here on the edge. Oh, that's kind of nice. All right, so that's that one. That is Broken China. I think Mermaid is going to be pretty bright. So I'm going to try it just to try it, but I think it's going to be too bright. Yes. See, that a Mermaid is a little too, well, I don't know. Hang on. Thinking it might be just a little too bright. But then again, all right, there's Mermaid. That's a contender. And then I'm going to turn this around so I'm using a clean spot. This one is Faded Jeans. Oh, yeah. All right. Faded Jeans is going to be way too dark, but we'll test it anyway. And we could be really brilliant and test it over here on another page. Yeah, see? Woo! Too much. And let me go back here to Mermaid. That's kind of nice. It has almost a teal look to it. So let me go back again. Distressed and archival, the inks are, they're a little bit different formulation. For the purposes of what we're doing, it makes no difference. Whether it's your archetypal ink or it is the just pure distressed ink. All right. I'm voting. Sorry, I'm the voter. I'm voting on Broken China. So I'll just set these others to the side. And then I'm going to also, though, just for fun, I'm going to test the vintage photo and just see if I would really just prefer that. This vintage photo just gives you just a distressed. All right. I think I'd prefer to have the blue. Now, there is the possibility of, oh, and let's try that. So this is vintage photo on top of the blue. And then this is Broken China. Whoops. That's all right. On top of vintage photo. Which do I prefer? Because I could do either one. Okay, I prefer the vintage photo on top of the blue, but I'm going to put the blue up first, and I'll only use vintage photo if once I get it all on, I go, that's too much. So let's give it a shot. and see how it goes. So I'm going to ink all this up, and I'm just going to come along and just ink the edge just to give it kind of this hint of color so it looks finished. That's the whole point of it. And I do want to not get it on my lace because it would be sort of prominent. And the good thing is, because we are going to want to move on here eventually, I know, this dries very quickly, and so we'll be able to seal the page here relatively quickly. And I'll go ahead and bring this back up here. Probably like, move your arm, move your arm. Alrighty, oops. It is so nice to be able to do some art today. This is part of my spiritual practice, which I probably mention to y'all all the time. Oh, I love the way that looks. So I'm gonna go back here and even give myself this more of a shadowy highlighter. And you know, this is ink stain. You can always just write right over it, so it won't be in the way of what we're attempting to do here, journaling. Oh, I was saying why I'm so happy to have this morning is because this afternoon, as soon as I quit procrastinating, this is tax prep day. My business is a corporation, so my American tax day is March 15th. Thank you very much. That was a good decision on my part. It really was a very good decision business-wise on my part, but it pushes tax day up earlier. All right. This is one of my weakest parts, is when I'm trimming things off, I end up trimming the whole page, and then, yeah, so. Luckily, I do mixed media where everything is supposed to be a tad wonky. So. All right. There we are. Now we're getting some good coverage here. Someone else I know, and I did buy a bag of them, and I couldn't tell you where they are. I'll have to find them, hunt them up, because it might have worked even better here. She gets the cosmetic sponge wedges, and that's what she uses when she does her inking. And I'm kind of like, that might have been a really good piece for here. Now, something else that I'm going to try, and you may be like, no, but I'll show you. I am going to go ahead over to, I'm going to move that lace out of the way. Yes. All right, I need to get down here to even this out to what we've done everywhere else. And so this is the art part, is and the intuitive part, and how this becomes a sacred practice, a meditation even, is you're just playing with it. There is no right, there is no wrong. You're just seeing what happens, and oh, I wonder. So what I know is that I like how here on the edges, this kind of gave this even a more watery look. So I am going to literally go over all of this with the ink. This is where I'm like, y'all might be going, no, don't wreck it. But to me, it's, and I'm just going to come up just above it. I'm not going to cover the whole page, although I could. So we'll make that decision in a minute. My decision right this second is that I'm just going to come up just above all of the collage pieces. So it gives them this more of a watery effect. And yes, all right, so I like that. I don't like how it stops. So I'm just going to continue it on. And it can fade out, so I'll start more down here and let it fade out going up. But what's really cool is, look how, and yes, I know, it gets really here. So, oh, I know, baby wipe. Before it gets dry, baby wipes are amazing for this. So you just apply it. And then we're going to buff it down with the baby wipe. And see, remember, now see, I buffed down too much. We are, so I'll let that baby wipe stuff dry. We're on the gloss medium. So if I decided and went, I don't like this at all, look, I just take it right back off. This is, to me, why it's worth the hassle of the gel mediums. We'll let that dry. I'll come over here and keep working on this side because I do like how this is going. And again, this seems, that's just a tad too much, so just lift it up. I do want some here in the center. I'm not able to get down in there. See, because what's happening is as I'm trying to push there, the edges are pulling too thick. So what if we just make it just this tiny little piece? Can we fill that in? Oh, that's better. We've still got some spaces there that, ooh, there we are, there. And then if I really want to just touch out some of it, all right. And then I can just, now this looks like it's probably going to be like a one-use time pad, but hey, it's done such good work. That's okay. All right, now this is dry, so I can come back in and re-add what we had here that I disturbed showing you that you could. Ah, now that's fun. So we're just going to have to buff that out. Okay. I must have leaned too hard on the pad. Okay. This is part of the beauty, if you will, of the, not coming, laying down here, of all the layers that we did. Remember, this one has, what, 2 layers of gesso, 2 layers of paint. Then we put the layer of all the different collage, and then we put the layer of mixed media on it, or gel medium on it. And so we have all these gorgeous layers, and now you can see them all. So, I'm liking this page. There's something funky going on right here that maybe I just need to buff out. It just feels like a hard line there for some reason. Maybe if I buff that way, it feels like I need some here. It may be that something is here still wet from, so let's see if that can dry. All right, so what I will do is I will allow this to completely dry. And then I will go in and remember, this is the, Gamblin is the brand name. That's just an artist company. Cold wax medium is what you'll want so that your pages don't stick together. All right, friends, next time we gather, I'm going to have put gesso and paint on some other pages so that we don't have to wait for the paint to dry. And then I'm going to use some of these tissues. These are Tim Holtz. There are many other tissues. I have a large piece from a dear friend of mine. Let me show you that one. I love it. I don't know because she took it off her roll and gave it to me. So I have no idea whose it is. But it's just a tissue type paper that's been printed. And the 3 of Tim Holtz that I have, they're part of his ideology line, or ideology, is floral, travel, and aviary. And so I'll choose one to put down. And probably I'll do several pages, prep them, and then maybe during our time together, we could stick some of all of them down. These go down great with the glue. You don't have to use gel medium, although like I said, I like to because of the paint brushes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been so much fun having you here with me today. I am Rosalind Warren of Sacred Life Mastery.art. If you're new to us, I welcome you wholeheartedly. We're creating the Book of Awe as part of our Sacred Life Mastery Academy, where we learn to live life to the fullest, to be radiant and joyful and alive, and just staying aligned is our only task. And the greatest gift that we give to humanity is our being happy and joyful. So if you're interested in that, follow us down below. You'll find the link, and be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when the next video goes live, which will be our playing with these beautiful printed tissue papers. Love you all. Bye-bye.